Hi guys, it's your girl Miranda Cheney, and I'm back with part 2 of how to launch your clothing line and do it successfully. Now, if you watched my previous video, we talked about sketching, we've talked about sourcing your fabric, and we've talked about pattern making. So now I'm going to talk to you about the next step after pattern making. So after pattern making, you want to get something called a prototype made. A prototype is a sample of your garment. Now you want to get that prototype made with sample fabric. You don't want to use your actual fashion fabric that you'll be using for your garment, because you want to see how the prototype will come out. Because if you use your fashion fabric, you'll just be wasting that fabric that you paid money for, and you can't include that in your costing when you go to price your garments. So you want to get a prototype made of your garment on some prototype fabric. Most time designers usually use something called muslin, and that's like a really thin cotton type fabric to sew their garment with. Now if you use another fabric such as like jean, like say for instance, if your actual fashion fabric that you want to use for your garment is a thicker fabric, it's like a jean or some other type of fabric, you can actually use something close to that fabric. So you want to go to Joann's and get something that's very similar to the fashion fabric that you'll actually be using, and you want to use that as your prototype fabric to sew your sample. Now prototypes are really important because you'll also be determining your sizing, and you want to know what size you want your garments to be. Now you may want to stick to the slim sizes with the slim girls, or you might want to do plus sizes. So that's why prototypes is very important, because when you're sewing your prototype and your sample, you'll actually be determining your sizes. So actually, after you've sewn your prototype together and you have the fit right, in order to test the fit, it's actually really good to test it out on a fit model. So call one of your friends, or you can actually be your own fit model, or you can call one of your friends and have them come into the studio, or whoever you have, sewing your prototype for you, and they would try on the garment and see how it fits. Now if the fit isn't quite right, you can kind of tweak it a little bit. So that's the next step that you want to do after you have your pattern making, is your prototype. So after you have your prototype created and you have like your sizing down pat, you want to take that prototype back to your pattern maker, so your pattern making could do something called grading your patterns. You need your patterns grading, and grading just determines the sizing of your garments. So your prototype may be a size 6, so you may have a size 6 model, and what the pattern maker will do, they will look at that size 6, get the measurements like the bust, the waist, all the dimensions of the prototype, and then they would size it up and size it down, so that way you will have a full run size of all your garments. What's next? So we have your flat sketches, we have you source your fabric, we have your pattern maker, we have your prototype, and we've taken your prototype to your pattern maker to have your sizes graded. So once you do that, you can now actually start sewing your garments and go into production, because you have everything created. So if you're a seamstress, you can do it yourself, but you can actually take it to a manufacturing company, which may be a little bit expensive. So if you're on a budget, what you can do is try to find your local seamstress. Try to find someone at an alteration shop. Usually they'll do production for you, or you can get a referral, or you can do your research on social media and see who can help you out with some production. And that's about it, guys. So if you have any questions, please leave them below. Please like this video, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube page, and that's about it. I'll be back with another video next week to give you the business of fashion.